Day 2 of the Arizona Cardinals 2025 training camp is in the books. Today we're going to be diving into all the big storylines leaving day 2 and all the things that you need to know about the 2025 Arizona Cardinals. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into another video. Definitely do me a huge favor, smack up that like button and subscribe for more Arizona Cardinals content on this channel. We're covering the Arizona Cardinals news, breaking news, conversational pieces, everything surrounding your favorite team. So subscribe it up. It's absolutely for free. But today concludes day 2 of the 2025 Arizona Cardinals training camp. This is the first official day that the public / fans were able to go in there. And honestly, overall, it was a fun experience, right? I love to kind of sit there for an hour and a half to take a look to see what the 2025 Arizona Cardinals is going to look like. And of course, you have a level of optimism that your team can go as far as, ABC, right? Like optimism is out the yin yang during this time right now. But overall, I've seen some good things. I've seen some bad things as well that we're going to be diving into as well. Now, I want to be very, very clear. We're sitting in July 24th in the second day of training camp. First official day of the public to kind of come in here. So I'm not going to blow it out of proportion, but as long as they know that these things need to be fixed, and some things were kind of things that we're struggling with last year. So I'm hoping that they take training camp, they take preseason to kind of use these, examples to get better. And hopefully by the time preseason comes around, everything will get hopefully cleaned up. But we will be showing you some clips that I ended up taking during my time at training camp. Overall, really good experience. It was pretty darn fun. So let's go and get started here. Let's talk about the positivities first. Overall, I thought the defense looked pretty phenomenal, especially those first string defense. Now, this is something that happens usually, not just with the Cardinals, but all the teams in the NFL. The defenses are usually a lot better than the offenses. The offenses usually take a little bit to kind of get going, get the gears running, and usually by week 1, they're kind of vanilla, and week 2, week 3, and then they kind of get better from there on out. So defense looked good. The defensive line, I'm telling you right now, man, with Calais Campbell, Darius Robinson, and I know that there's some people that are pretty bummed out about, Walter Nolan. Let's just kind of be optimistic, right? Let's hope that he's going to be available here in week 1 for the Cardinals. But overall, I think the defense looked really, really good. Like, there was a play that Mack Wilson Sr. completely just blew up a potential screenplay for James Conner and Kyler Murray. Throwing it to James Conner completely blew it up. Now, the defensive line, it's going to wreak a lot of havoc. I can already tell that this defensive line is going to be very, very dangerous heading into 2025. So overall, there's that. Another good thing that I like to see is that obviously Kyler Murray and Trey McBride's connection, that's not going anywhere. Like, if you're playing fantasy football, you're probably going to have to use a very high pick on Trey McBride because he's going to get fed. Like, it's very obvious that the connection still translating from 2024 to 2025, it's still there. Like, they haven't missed a beat. And Kyler Murray and Trey McBride is Kyler Murray's favorite connection right now. I wished it was Marvin, but there's still some things that we're obviously going to talk about. Now, we've seen a play that really, our DBs are playing with a lot of, I hate the word swagger, but they play with a lot of swagger. They're playing with a lot of intensity, a lot of energy. Like, you're seeing a lot of good things here. I'm seeing a lot more explosive plays with the second string offense than I am with the first string offense. But Jacoby Brissett is as advertised. Like, this is a very, very good, reliable second string quarterback. Like, he's made plays that I could only hope that we were making with the first strings. Now, like I said, it's only day 1, so we're not gonna kind of worry about it too much. But let's talk about the negatives, right? Let's talk about the negatives. Like I said before, there was that play with Mack Wilson Sr. kind of coming in and completely blowing up the screenplay. And it almost kind of seemed like they sniffed it out super, super easily. So we can't allow those things to happen, right? I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I guess we can give more credit to Mack Wilson for making that play. So, I would say the first string looked a little clunky. That was one of those plays that I really hope that it was executed a lot better and not shown as obvious that Mack Wilson Sr. was there to completely just demolish that ball. And there was a potential, interception by him. If he wanted to catch it, he probably could have. But there's that. There was also another play that was a botched play from Kyler Murray. Now that's not his fault, right? Sometimes it's the center and his connection. Ball was kind of thrown up. It looked like he had it, but ball kind of went down. He did pick it up and made a play. But if that was a real game scenario, that probably would not work out to the favor of the Arizona Cardinals. Now another play that I ended up seeing, which did get fixed later on in training camp, but the connection between Kyler and Marvin, there was a drag route from Marvin Harrison Jr. and the ball was completely thrown behind Marvin Harrison Jr. So trying to catch it, miscommunication was there. Like I said, on the 7-on-7s, there was a little bit more highlight reels for Kyler Murray compared to the 11-on-11s. But overall, there was a couple plays that Kyler threw to Marvin, and it seemed like, that was the main focus. Like, it seems like we're trying to focus on, you need to get this situated, right? Kyler and Marvin, you guys need to get that situated, and because he's your number one guy, he needs to be one of those guys that you need to look at, right? If it's not your first read, it's going to be your second read. So I like that we're not so much forcing it to Marvin, but we're getting design plays for Marvin Harrison Jr. Now, there was one specific play that I want to go ahead and highlight here and show you guys. This was a good play. Now, I know I've already seen on social media, people were like, well, that's not a good throw. I mean, however you want to look at it, right? The connection between Kyler and Marvin Harrison Jr., if this is a spark that it needs to kind of ignite, overall, the play was accomplished. The throw was, down the right sideline. Marvin Harrison Jr. did have to adjust, but what a great play by Marvin Harrison Jr. and Kyler Murray to get that connection that everybody was excited for. Like, this was the play that everybody was like, ooh, like this was the play right here. Like, this is what you wanted to see from your year two of Kyler and Marvin Harrison Jr. That was the play right there that got me really juiced up about potential, right? What could be. Now, of course, that was on 7-on-7s. It wasn't on with 11-on-11s, which is a little concerning to me. When Kyler Murray was dropping back a little bit, like, Kyler Murray's like, he's still playing with happy feet. It almost kind of seems like he's very, very skittish back there about, should I run? Should I do this? Obviously, he's not going to run during training camp, but it seems like the wheels are spinning very, very quickly. Now, I guess you could attribute that to our very, very upgraded defensive line. You could maybe attribute that to our maybe not good offensive line, which I'm actually really high in our offensive line. I heard really good things about Jonah Williams. I think he's going to have a really good bounce back year. Evan Brown, Isaiah Adams going into his year two. Obviously, Paris Johnson Jr., and then for Holt, right? I think overall we have a pretty solid offensive line, but I need those offensive plays to be cleaned up, right? The screenplay that was diagnosed really, really quickly by our middle linebacker. And then the botch play. Those plays are going to completely kill you during game time. And then, of course, the miscommunication between Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr., although got fixed on 7-on-7s and as well on, a couple plays here and there on 11-on-11s. But overall, I thought it was a pretty fascinating, fantastic day just in general. A good stepping stone is the best way to describe it, right? A good stepping stone for day two. Definitely a good stepping stone. Now, one of the big storylines leaving this day is that, unfortunately, J.J. Russell, one of the newest acquisitions for the Cardinals at the middle linebacking position, ended up having a very scary collide with safety Keaton Crawford. And I kid you not, like, you could hear a pin drop. Nobody was talking. It was a scary scene. Like, I was looking down, watching the tape, watching the highlights on my phone. I looked up and boom, the collide ended up happening. Now, the third stringers were out, but the boom that you heard, like, I wasn't able to record it, but the actual smack that you heard, it was bad. It was really, really bad. So I didn't really see if it was Clayton Tune's fault for forcing it in that spot. But what importantly happened, I guess, to note is that they collided. They collided, right? So Keaton Crawford bounced back up really, really fairly quickly, and then J.J. Russell he was down, face down for quite some time. It was probably about 3 to 4 or 5 seconds before the training staff came out and said, okay, hey, we need to bounce. Everybody came out, the cart came out, and everybody knew this was a pretty serious situation. Now, the Arizona Cardinals did come out with a update on J.J. Russell, which seems to be positive, right? He was able to kind of move extremities. At the end of the day, he did end up going to the hospital here from the update by the Arizona Cardinals. So it's definitely something we're going to have to keep our eyes on. I don't think J.J. Russell is one of those guys that we're going to kind of be a camp battle, right? I don't think he was going to kind of fight it off when it comes down to Akeem Davis Gaither or Cody Simon. I mean, maybe he could have. I mean, at the end of the day, but he was playing with third stringers. But, it doesn't matter. He's a human being. He's an Arizona Cardinal, and obviously prayers up and hopefully nothing but a speedy recovery. And I hope everything's going to be okay here at the end of the day. Like I said, Keaton Crawford, which was the guy on the opposing side of the collide, he ended up bouncing up and didn't seem like he was really phased with it. So that was very, very scary. So, like I said, prayers up here to JJ Russell. But overall, very fun experience. I'm going to go back again, and I really want to see the development of more deep throws. I want to see more kind of connection between Kyler and the rest of the guys. Now, obviously, Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr., I want to see Michael Wilson be involved a little bit more. I don't really see a lot of Michael Wilson in this practice. It was very obvious. The two targets, Trey and Marv. Those are the two targets that Kyler Murray is really kind of keeping his eye on right now. So things to clean up, absolutely, but it's only July 24th. As long as we're seeing some progress and getting better and better and better each day, that's all really I can ask for here at the end of the day. Defense looks solid. A lot of the young pieces look really solid. I think what it seems like we're probably going to see is probably Star, Garrett, and Max Melton as 1, 2, 3. If I'm going to put my just kind of what I've seen today, but you never know, right? We can very well see Will Johnson as a starting cornerback in 2025, but we'll have to kind of wait and see how that shakes out. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what your overall thoughts here of the Arizona Cardinals in day 2 of training camp. Let me know here in the comments below. Appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. Have a great rest of your day and go Cardinals.